everyone, John here, and I'm back with another beer. And today we're drinking somewhat of a classic beer to the California beer scene. This is STS PILS from Russian River Brewing Company. And this is the first time I've ever seen this beer in a bottle in Southern California in my local beer market. I live in Riverside County in Southern California, and the bottle shop I go to has a very good selection of beers. There's two I go to, La Bodega in Riverside and Gerard's Market in Redlands, California. And this is a beer that I don't know if they just started bottling this. I don't think they did, but this is the first time I've seen it on a shelf, and I'm pretty stoked about it. This is a Keller style Pilsner, 5.35% alcohol by volume, and it was bottled on October 26th, 2018, so it's pretty damn fresh. I'm stoked about this. We're gonna be seeing a lot more Russian River down here in Southern California because they just opened a new brewery in Windsor, I believe. So this is awesome. I cannot wait to get my hands on more Russian River beer. So let's open this up, check it out. All right, so look at that beer. That is a nice fluffy white head. I mean, when it comes to beer, Russian River is pretty much perfection, right? Vinny's been brewing beer for a long time. His family, you know, came from Temecula where they had a winery. The dude's been around alcohol and alcohol products for a long time, pretty much his whole life. So dude knows what he's doing. And this beer, it looks incredible. Like, it's got a little bit of a haze to it. It's a Keller style beer. So Keller beers are unfiltered and unpasteurized. And it says on the bottle that there might be yeast sediment at the bottom, and I can see some sediment, definitely. You can treat this like a Hefeweizen where you agitate the beer. If you pour like a full pint, you can agitate the beer at the bottom and to get the yeast in suspension, and then pour that into the beer so you get like the cloudiness and the full yeast character, but I'm not gonna do that. So again, fluffy white head, looks awesome. I could already smell it coming out of the glass. And I believe this is my first time having this beer, if I do remember correctly. I may have had it at some point after a night of heavy drinking. I might not remember, but yeah, let's see what it smells like. Oh wow, so that's like big time like straw hay. It's got that crisp kind of Pilsner smell that you like to smell, like a nice Pilsner malt character that's again like that hay straw kind of thing. It's earthy smelling. Get a little bit of like a fruit character on there too, like I don't know, like maybe like a grape kind of thing. I'm not quite sure. It kind of like a white grape, I would say. Yeah, that's kind of interacting with that tartness. It almost smells like a really good, like, beginning to like a sour ale that was, that has that kind of vibe going on to the smell. It definitely smells like a Pilsner. It doesn't smell like a sour. It doesn't have like that acidic, kind of smell you get from a sour. But with that kind of white grape character, you do get that vibe. So it smells fantastic. It smells crisp and clean and like straw and hay, pretty much, with like a nice hop zing and maybe a little bit of a grape character to it. So let's see what it tastes like. Okay, so that's got a pretty ample bitter finish, which I kind of like in Pils. Not all the time, but I don't mind a bitter Pilsner or a hop forward Pilsner. And for me, this is definitely hop forward. Those fruit notes really come through on the flavor, especially if you're smelling, like inhaling while you take your sip. You really get that fruity kind of grape effect. Got a nice crisp carbonation to it. Man, yeah, the fruitiness on this is really coming through. It's like a crisp, clean, like you just, oh man. It's like eating fresh, like, I don't want to say it's like eating apples because it doesn't taste like apples, but kind of that feeling you get when you bite into like a crisp, cold apple and, it kind of dries your mouth out, but you get a little bit of sweetness and a fruit character from it. In that case, it would be, apple flavor. It doesn't taste like an apple, but you get that vibe while you drink it. Like, it's just, it's perfect. It's really good. Like, as far as the dryness goes, balanced with the bitterness, it's great. It just makes you want to drink more and more. This is probably a great beer to drink with food, like pizza or something like that. I mean, other foods obviously pair well with Pilsner, but that's the first thing I think of is like pub food or like pizza. And drinking this on a hot day, yeah, this hits the spot. This is fantastic. It's got a nice softness also to the mouthfeel. While it is pretty dry and bitter, you do taste the malt characteristics of it. And yeah, the bitterness lingers too. That's nice. It makes you come back for more. Man, that's good. But it's got like a nice pillowy malt thing happening, which I really, really kind of dig. So overall, this is a great beer. I think it's a great compliment to Pliny, because this is what I'm seeing now in Southern California, STS and Pliny the Elder. So this is like a good gateway beer, I think, into Pliny. Even though Pliny is an IPA, it's an ale, and this is, you know, a lager that's, you know, it's different styles, but you can tell they're in the same lineage, you know what I mean? And I think this is a good gateway beer for new beer drinkers or people that don't like IPA to kind of dip their toe in that water or into that, you know, try out that category, because like I said, this is a bitter, more bitter Pilsner than, you know, traditional, you know, Pilsner like Coors Light or whatever. That's light Pilsner, but like Coors or something like that. It's definitely on the bitter side, and it's got Russian River written all over it. Like, so it'd be cool to try this as like a first step, and then, you know, maybe go to Blind Pig and then Pliny, just to kind of work your way up, you know, to that ultimate IPA, and then one day maybe Pliny the Younger when it comes out once a year. So awesome beer. I'm so stoked to have this beer in Southern California. I'm a huge Russian River fan. In my opinion, they can do no wrong as far as beer goes. And yeah, thanks for watching another video. We'll see you next time. Oh man, I left my Xbox on. Son of a...